Long ago, in a faraway realm beyond the reaches of the Mushroom Kingdom, there existed a land known as Subcon, a dreamy world of wonder, magic, and mystery. Subcon was a place where dreams came to life, and for many ages it flourished under the peaceful skies. But peace was shattered when a twisted sorcerer known as Wart emerged from the shadows. Using a stolen dream machine, Wart cast a powerful spell over Subcon, imprisoning the land in an endless nightmare and turning its gentle creatures into his loyal minions. The people of Subcon, unable to resist Wart's magic alone, sent a call for help to the dream world, hoping someone, anyone, might hear. That's when Mario began to dream. One night, Mario found himself walking through a strange, glowing door in his sleep. On the other side lay Subcon, twisted and dark, yet somehow familiar. As he wandered through this strange realm, Mario discovered that he was not alone. Luigi, Princess Peach, and Toad had all shared the same dream and entered Subcon through their own mysterious doors. Together, the four heroes embarked on a surreal journey through strange deserts, icy peaks, and vast caves. They discovered they could pick up and hurl vegetables, bombs, and even enemies, abilities that seemed perfectly natural in this dreamlike world. Each of them brought something special. Luigi could jump high, Peach could float through the air, Toad had great strength, and Mario remained a balanced all-rounder. As they journeyed deeper, they encountered strange new enemies like Shy Guys, Ninja, and the curious creature, Birdo. Along the way, they learned that others had come before them, a family of adventurers from another dream realm who had once tried to save Subcon but were scattered and forgotten after Wart seized the dream machine. With every level, the dreamers drew closer to Wart's lair, battling illusions and nightmares to reach the heart of the corruption. In a climactic showdown, they faced Wart himself. The key to defeating him laid in the very thing he despises: vegetables, symbols of growth and life. By using the fruits of the dream world against him, they shattered the spell and reclaimed the dream machine. As light returned to Subcon, the people were freed and their world was slowly healed. The heroes were hailed as legends of the dream realm. And then Mario awoke. Was it all a dream? Perhaps. But on his nightstand he found a single shining turnip, one not of this world. And far away, in the deepest corner of the dreamscape, Subcon dreamed peacefully once more. And that's the story of Super Mario Bros. 2.
Welcome to Retrotopia, the video game podcast that crosses borders. I'm Sam, and with me is Brian, the Princess Peach to my Toad. Brian, what's new?
Hey, Sam. Not much is going on new except for this podcast. Pretty much we've decided to get together, you, the American from Wisconsin, me, the Canadian from Ontario, and we're just going to talk about the thing that brought us together, video games. We have a lot of plans to do video game reviews, some discussions of more obscure games. We're going to deep dive into franchises and developments. We're going to look at the history of video gaming, and when we run out of ideas, we'll do top 10 lists.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 100 of the Retrotopia podcast. Woo! And this introduction, as you can already tell, is going to be a three-way. We got Alan and Brian. Yeah,
we used to do the introductions together, Sam, then it just became easier and more time effective for us just to each do one on our own.
Yep.
So this is something we haven't done in a while.
Yeah, I think the last one was Chrono Trigger for the 50th.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
that was.
I don't
this
even
is gonna be
remember
fucking
that,
weird.
So sure.
Okay, Chrono
well,
Trigger
should...
revisit coming for 101, 102, and 103. We're just going to keep talking Chrono Trigger.
You got there just a split second before I could.
Right.
Split.
I know
fucking
somebody.
second.
I know somebody is going to take a shot at me for bringing up Chrono Trigger. I'm buckled, but yeah. Anyways, let's just get on with the topic du jour.
That's right. Where can they find us, Brian?
Oh my God, where can they find us? Well, let's give them the shortened version. They can stay at the end for the long version, but they can find us at linktree/Retrotopia. It's linktr.ee/Retrotopia, where you can find all of our social medias or a link to the Discord. You can find our merch at retrotopia.dashery.com. We got a lot of good stuff there. Check it out. And if you want to support the show, you can do so for free at patreon.com/Retrotopia. Yes.
There we go.
Outstanding.
Nice and
And
concise.
they can also send in their comments for the game of the episode in a little section that we like to call the 9-bit banter box, because just like my two co-hosts, it's culturally elegant.
And I got the first one, so I'm going to go ahead and just get right into this. This one's a spicy one. All right, this comes from The Big Deal, who says, have you ever been told if you love your Mega Drive so much, why don't you marry it? Here's a marry, fuck, kill that you each have to participate in. Any Nintendo console, any Sony console, and any Sega or Xbox console. So any console, regardless of how you play, you have to stick your dick in at least one piece of hardware, at least one. Good heavens.
all right.
Good heavens. Who wants to go first?
Funny story. I love the fact that it's Mega Drive here. Good shout. I mean, I know we call it the Mega Sys over here, but yeah, I have a soft spot for the Mega Drive, and I do have a serious soft spot for the Mega Drive. So I'm definitely going to marry the Mega Drive, because she's been with me my whole life. You know, she's been a real ride or die, and you know, it's just I couldn't be without her. So yeah, I'm gonna marry the Mega Drive. I mean, obviously, if I'm married to the Mega Drive, I'm sticking my dick in it. But I guess I have to fuck a different console, right? So, I got to be sensible about this. I mean, it's got to be something with a port. I mean, it doesn't have to be all that big, but it has to be big enough. So I'm thinking it has to be a cartridge slot at least. I don't know, where am I getting in a disk drive? So I guess I will fuck the Super Nintendo, because you know, the Super Nintendo is that console that, while I did have it, you know, it always felt a little bit exotic, a little bit exciting, because I was a Sega kid. So it's a little grey harlot. It's going to tempt me over away from my Mega Drive. And I don't know, I'm probably going to kill the... What am I going to kill? Oh, I'm gonna go right off the beaten track, and I'm gonna kill the, what was it, the 3DO, Panasonic 3DO, because those Zelda games look like fucking bullshit.
Well, that's a deeper pull than I was gonna go.
Oh, I will pull it deeply, because it's the 100th episode.
All right, I'll go next. I was writing my list while Alan was talking there. I'm gonna marry the Super Nintendo, because that's basically my first love, and you know, you never forget your first.
Sure don't.
I am going to go a three-way on my fuck, because let's get a little bit dirty here. I'm going to go the PlayStation 1 and 2, because I can't decide which one I love more for just like a quick RPG, you know? Some hot stuff right there. And then I'm going to kill the N64, because I believe it did me dirty. Made me believe it was a great console, but then I grew up and I can't think of a game on it that really holds up today. So... bye-bye N64, I finally get my revenge on you. Also, I once dropped the controller on my nuts, so...
Ooh.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of on my shit list.
An N64 controller?
Yeah, I was just playing the game there, and you're like going crazy there, and it slipped out of my hand, and the little spiky metal part just came down, and boom, right in the balls.
What kind of
I was young.
controller? Spiky metal part? What the?
The N64 controller. I never said metal.
Yeah,
You said metal.
He got
I
pronged
said the
in the
spiky
dong.
part.
Didn't you say spiky
Probably
metal
did say
part?
metal. I probably did, but it's too late. We can't. It's going to be edited, so nobody will ever hear this.
Oh, sure. Okay. I was gonna say, did you go to like Hot Topic and get like a special N64 controller with spikes on it?
Oh, you wouldn't understand. Like, it was for depressed people.
You got a Goth 64 controller. All right, mine. I might just stick with the standard FMK here. I would say. I'm going to say marry the Super Nintendo because I didn't get to play enough of it, and I think that library stacks against any for just great games. So that's my pick. I guess we'll fuck with the PlayStation, PS1. PS1. I had a PS1. I don't think I explored that library as much as I could because I think I was a little bit too preoccupied with, sometimes licensed games, I guess, or trying to catch up on. I didn't have one right away, so I was trying to catch up on stuff. So I don't think I really explored that as deep as I could. So I guess I would have the PlayStation as my side piece. This is ridiculous.
Nice.
I'm gonna kill the Xbox. I don't have any strong feelings towards the Xbox, so buy Xbox.
I thought of the Xbox.
Ouch.
I did think about killing the Xbox as well, so I'm right there with you.
You know
It
what?
just doesn't do anything for me. I'm sorry.
The Xbox gave me Xbox Live, which was great at the time, but something I absolutely loathe nowadays. But it also gave me Need for Speed Underground 2 and the trigger as opposed to a button for the R2 and L2.
Oh
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Assuming like we break all rules of causality here and say that we can kill the Xbox without killing the Xbox 360, then I think I'm good.
What if the Xbox 360 just became the Xbox? They just waited a generation. Boom, mind blown.
I have no answer for that, Brian. I have nothing. You got me. All right. So I guess that leads us to, well, thank you. Big deal for a start. That was a hell of a question to kick things off with. Next up, we've got Blaine the Hoagie Man, who says, so if this game is all a dream, does that mean Mario also reads Word Up magazine? And I've got a question for you guys. What is Word Up magazine?
I'm looking it up
I got
right
a counter
now.
question for you. What is Word Up magazine? I have no idea.
Oh, it's a hip hop magazine from it started in 1987. Does it still exist?
I have no idea. Why would he be reading that in a dream?
Oh, was. Yeah, it's no longer in publication. Sure, why not?
Well, to answer your question, Blaine the Hoagie Man, no.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
He could
I don't
be.
know. Yeah.
Do you know what? I mean, it's focused on hip hop and rap artists, according to this. So I'm going to say that no, Mario probably doesn't, but I bet Donkey Kong does because he has that DK rap, right? So, like, he's pretty much a rap star.
Well, what about the Super Mario Brothers theme with the Hooked on the Brothers?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
They
yeah,
rap too.
okay.
Yeah, everyone raps. So
Okay.
yes, they are. Yes, they are reading Word Up magazine.
Okay,
There
yeah,
you go.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. All right. Coming in from Philip Mammoth with Farts. I love that name. Since we have everybody here, let's go into your memory bank. What are some of the firsts that you remember buying with your own money? Like first game, for me it was Sunset Riders on the SNES, or first system, PS1 for me. Bought it from a friend who said he wanted to focus on the N64. Hopefully you're not still friends. Still think I got the better deal on that one, he says. I added that little bit.
Did you?
Yeah. what was the first thing you bought with your own money? Let's say after you moved out of the house, your first console, your first game, your first college game. I don't know. Just say it wasn't Christmas money.
Yeah, because you see, you know, this question here relies heavily on my memory bank, which I no longer have. because of a misspent youth. I now remember nothing beyond yesterday, and I do remember saving up some money from my first ever job, which was at Pizza Hut, funnily enough, and I distinctly remember buying myself a PlayStation 2 with it, and for the life of me I can't think what game or games I got with it, but I do remember buying that console and basically just never leaving my bedroom again, because I was hooked on that thing. There is something about buying one of these things for yourself that just hits different, right?
Alan, what are you doing in your bedroom? I'm playing my games. Why aren't you masturbating like a kid your age?
Don't interrupt me when I'm cleaning my room.
He's actually never left. He's still in there.
I am.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's true. It's true. Oh, it's starting to get a bit ripe in here.
Yeah, Sam, do you want to go next, or?
Yeah, sure. I think I want to say maybe the first one I bought with my own money was after college, an Xbox 360 briefly I played. But yeah, I kind of got out of video games for a bit, so that one's kind of lackluster because I just said I would kill the Xbox, and I didn't particularly enjoy the Xbox. So I don't really remember why I wanted one so bad, but there it is, Xbox. Oh, because I wanted to play Final Fantasy 13. That's a story for another time. That killed my love of gaming for a while.
Oh man.
Yes. Wait, does it say firsts? First game. Oh, first game. I might have gotten Jedi Power Battles with my own money. That might have been one of my first ones, or maybe like saving up my allowance for a Sega game, but it was probably a disappointing one. Like, I probably got like Stimpy's Invention with my own money or something like that.
Oh. Awesome. After I finished basic training, I went right off to I don't know, the Americans call it, I think, the PX. I went off to our version of that, and they had the PS2 bundle. So you got like an extra controller and a game, and the game I got with it was the Bouncer, because it was from Square.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
That was not a good game. I'm surprised I still play video games after playing that, but it it was the first console I bought on my own, and I brought my TV from home. You remember those TV VCR combos?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I've got one upstairs.
That's what
I'd love to have one.
Yeah, that's what I had in my barrack room. That was my only source of entertainment.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was me.
Isn't it
and then
funny?
I started buying DVDs.
I was gonna say, Brian, isn't it funny that Square Enix is probably one of our favorite, if not our favorite publisher, and then they both put out a game that like almost ruined us.
Yeah. Fuck. Bastards.
All right,
Sam,
I got the next one. This one comes from Randy Barrage from the Read Watch Play podcast. Give them a listen because they are cooking. But Randy says, a heartfelt congratulations on 100 episodes. You guys have done an amazing job of building a great show and an excellent camaraderie amongst yourselves. I feel genuinely grateful to be a part of this growing community. And in terms of a question to toss your way, what is a favorite game of yours that you are most looking forward to the other co-hosts playing for a future episode? Thanks for the awesome show. I'm really proud of you guys. Oh my gosh.
Aww.
I almost cried.
What a sweet.
No, I really appreciate that.
Can you be my dad?
Yeah.
Randy, I'm going to hug you again.
Yes. I'm so jealous of you. Alan got to meet Randy, and
I did.
Yeah,
he's
right?
the furthest
I just
from
want to
Randy of
sniff
any
Alan's
of us.
hand that he's
I know.
shaking with.
I have hugged Randy, and that I feel like my life started that day. Yeah,
And
it goes, birth of my child, marriage, hugging Randy Berridge. It's right up there.
milestones.
Milestones.
We'll get there, Brian.
Yeah, one day.
All right, who wants to take this
Welcome
one
to
first?
the new Patreon turn called Fly Us Out.
Fly us out. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. Please don't. No. We don't. Someone would be like, yeah, sure. Like, no. But we appreciate that. Brian, do you want to take this one first, or who wants to take this one first?
I'll take it first because I actually have a game in mind that I want you two to play, and that's Just Cause 3.
Oh, I'm in.
And that's actually, I think it's published by Square Enix, and it is a game, like an open world game with this massive map, and the only thing you do is blow shit up. And it's got a story and everything like that, and missions and so forth and so on. You can drive cars, steal tanks, steal battle things, steal jets, steal helicopters. You have a hook shot, so any game that has a hook shot is immediately a 5-star game. And yeah, it's just a fantastic game, and I want to get you guys to play it sometime, but it is a massive undertaking.
Hey, Brian, why do you want us to play it?
Why?
Do you want us to play it just cause?
I walked into that one.
I can't remember if I've played number 3. I know I've played the first one. It might be number 2 that I've played as well, but...
Yeah, number 2 is pretty good, but number 3 is like perfection. Number 4, I can't get into.
Oh, really?
It just seems to be a habit with these types of games. Far Cry 4, I have a hard time playing. Just Cause 4 just doesn't feel the same. Yeah. Oh, I know why Just Cause 4 doesn't feel the same. I've gotten into it, but they have this ongoing battle where you gain and lose territory, and I find it annoying.
Oh, really? See, I bought that game as well. I mean, it wasn't expensive.
It still has the same Just Cause fun, but I don't know. It's not as good as 3. 3 is the pinnacle of it.
Yeah, when you get that
3 like
hook shot and the parachute is just ridiculous.
Oh, you get the flying suit, and you can do all sorts of records. Like in Just Cause 3, there's a mountain. I went to the top of it with a helicopter, then I jumped off, and I used the wingsuit to fly all the way down, and I got an achievement for just flying for some, like, I think I was up in the air for 5 or 6 minutes.
Amazing. There's probably an achievement for that as well.
That's why I said I got the achievement.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't...
I wasn't paying attention.
I kind of drifted in and out. I'm actually trying to
do that when
I'm actually trying to find out if 2 or 3 is the one I've played. So I've sort of got half here and half over here, just looking through my achievements. Just Just Cause 1. But where's the other one? I'm sure I played another one. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I feel like Randy already knows what I'm going to say about this one. I feel like anyone who's been listening to this show knows what I'm going to say about this one. I mean, it is obviously.
I know.
Go on.
No, no, you say it, but I know what it's gonna be.
You do know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Mass Effect. Undoubtedly, like the trilogy that is perhaps my favourite in all of gaming of all time. It is, Mass Effect. Yeah, I'll settle for the first one, but then hopefully, we'll get around to the whole story. So that's an obvious one from me. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that's not quite so lame an answer. I had an idea for a few. Oh, I suppose one that's probably a lot more likely. I'm looking forward to the next Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which...
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's definitely going to be something we play sooner rather than later, hopefully.
Yes, please.
Going through the entire Sonic catalog before we even get to Super Mario World.
That's fine.
Yes.
Yep. Sam, what do you want us to play?
Man, this might be recency bias because I set up a PC to play some PC games on yesterday, and it's going to be Warcraft 2. That's not much else to say about that. If you listen to our StarCraft episode, you know that StarCraft,
He's
Warcraft
hot and
2.
horny
Oh
for
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You've been talking about that for a minute, and I think I can get it for the Sega Saturn and probably have a really awful time with it.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna do that.
I think Warcraft 2 was always on the docket, but you couldn't find a way to play it. Was the problem why we haven't covered it yet?
Yeah,
Yep, I got it. I got a way to play it now. Well,
there you go. So well, we got to sit down and do some planning, boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we're good to like November or some shit so far, so we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
So we'll wait until December to be like, crap.
We'll wait until the last minute.
Yeah, no, this is the quick play problem all over again, where we have like 2 left in the bank there, and we're just like, yeah, we're good until the end of the month, and then
Yes.
oh shit.
If it wasn't for the last minute, you guys would not be listening to Retrotopia.
That's right.
What do we got next?
Procrastination-atopia.
Hang on, has everyone gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
awesome.
back up
I
with
went first,
this
then
next
you
one
went.
here.
So next up, we've got H, who says, "Hey guys, 100 episodes is a massive achievement. Not many people who start a podcast get past 20, so to get to 100 and still have no signs of slowing down is awesome. The effort you put in and the quality of the podcasts definitely shows. Looking forward to the next 100. My question for all of you is, what is the best thing about having a podcast / starting a podcast? Is there anything you've learnt over the 100 episodes?" No, I have learned nothing. Yeah, I think, given as you two are the originators of this podcast, you started this whole thing off. I think you should go first. Sam, why not? What have you learned?
All right. I guess I've learned if you may have heard this before, but if you want to do something, just do it. Doesn't matter. Like I think we would still be doing this even if we didn't have listeners. You know, who cares? Just shout into the void if you want to. Like, this is just a fun thing to do. So I'm glad that we started this, and hopefully we get many more. I'm looking forward to more. So learned, or wait, hold on. Was there two parts to that question? Best thing? I think the best thing is just having a chat with you guys, honestly. Playing the games is fun, but that's really secondary to chatting about them, you know, when it comes time to do that.
Yeah, no, I echo everything you say. I mean, I've really enjoyed the last 100 episodes. I mean, I can't honestly believe we lasted this long, because quite honestly, there was some touch and go there for a bit when we were trying to figure out, like, my schedule. Like, if Alan had you not come in, I don't know if we'd still have a podcast right now. Simply because when I was in school at the beginning of the year, I didn't have time to record all the time, and you coming in to kind of take the spot while I was gone for a while kept everything flowing, and really proved that we are very malleable as a podcast. So I've learned I've actually learned a lot about audio editing as well. I know I keep screwing up all the time, but
no, buddy, you have got this thing locked down.
No, I don't. No. I screwed up like episode 98, so I don't have this down. But I'm learning. I try new things and they fuck up, and then I go back to the old ways and it seems to work. So, I think the best thing about having the podcast is you two. Honestly, without you the podcast, I don't know who I'd talk to on a daily basis. It'd be just some random people in Discord.
Yeah. You know, it's I agree. You know, I know it's lame to just like parrot the same answer again, but it is genuinely like I look forward to sitting down at this microphone and just shooting the shit with you guys, and just like, because we do talk about the games outside of actually recording, but it's not the same. Once you get down and just start firing out opinions and what have you, like, the conversation just starts flowing, and it's a genuine good time. I'd also like to venture, if I may be so cloying, you know, we've built quite a fucking awesome little community, especially over on Discord and things like that. You know, you guys writing in questions for us and giving us something to talk about it's so much fun to have that interaction from people who just listen to just three random dudes just, you know, talk about games. And I would say I've learned not to be afraid of the microphone, which is obviously something that's very, very handy, given that I want to use the microphone. I want to use my voice for. Obviously, I mean, this is how this whole thing started, as an interest in voice acting and what have you, and frankly now it's kind of taken over in a good way, because, you know, I genuinely enjoy doing this, and it's nice not to be terrified of this thing in front of me anymore.
That's what she said.
Yeah. No, she didn't. She had to go looking.
It doesn't look right. All right, let's move on. Next one comes from the Big Brown Dog. Congratulations to Brian for getting through 100 of anything that doesn't require a bottle cap opener. Fuck you. Next question. Big Brown Dog.
Oh, that's
is,
me. That's me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you guys know. Big Brown Dog is somebody I know quite well.
To be fair,
Let's just say,
I could do
yeah.
with something that requires a bottle cap opener right about now.
That's true. That's true. Let's just say with Big Brown Dog, I don't regret deleting your Final Fantasy IV account. Save game.
Ooh.
Gotcha. All right.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. All right. Next comes from Blue Yoshi 94, who says, I started listening to this podcast on Yoshi's story because of Remember the Game, and I'm glad I did. Keep on going, guys. My question is, what is the direct middle tier game that if a game is better, it's good, and if it's worse, it's bad? Okay. Oh, like what's your definition of straight down the middle mid? What's your benchmark?
That's a good question.
I think like the most bland.
I mean, the first one that comes to mind, obviously, and again, it's that recency bias, but Mario is missing, kind of, in a sense. And what I'm kind of judging this on games that we've covered, rather than just go off into the reeds there. Because I know I didn't hate that game perhaps as much as you guys did, and I kind of just think it's very just meh. So I think if anything's worse than that, then it's probably a terrible game, but if anything's better than that, then it's at least, halfway decent. Because we cover a lot of really good games, so we don't have much in the backlog that's kind of meh. So yeah,
we're still in the infancy of the podcast, even though we're at episode 100. We got a ton of good games still to cover. So,
oh sure, 100%.
Yeah, we can't get to the bad games all the time.
That's true. I'm gonna stick in the realm of games that we've covered, and I'm going to say Far Cry 3. Because I think
really,
fuck you.
I think that game was very just kind of a game, and I didn't particularly enjoy it. I think when we covered it, it was more recency bias that I really didn't like it, but it was fine. It just didn't grab me the way that it grabbed you guys. So I think if there's games better than Far Cry 3, you could start considering those good. If there's games worse, I would really not care for them.
Makes
All right, I'm gonna step outside of our catalog, and I'm gonna go any NHL game, insert year here. So like NHL 25 or whatever, because they come out on Game Pass, and I'm calling it a mid-tier game because I can sit on the couch, shut my brain off. I don't hate it. I don't like it. I don't have a desire to finish it. I don't want to throw, my controller out and the console into the garbage. It is literally the definition, and I imagine a lot of sports games are like this as well, but NHL is the one I play the most. They are just vanilla. They don't suck. They're not great. I don't brag about playing the game, but, I don't let my friends know I do. It is... Yeah, I can't think of a game that better describes middle of the tier than NHL. Like I said, NHL whatever year it is.
I'm going to start bragging about anytime I play NHL and be like, hey guys, guess what I did? I played Chell.
Yeah. Chell. Oh, fuck Chell.
Hey, that's actually a good shout. Like any sports game.
Fair.
Right.
Yeah. Although that did raise my eyebrow when you said NHL, because I'm assuming you're not counting NHL 94 in that.
I am.
Really?
Even though I love NHL 94, NHL 94 gets that it was my first NHL game.
See, even I love NHL 94, and I know fuck all about hockey.
Yeah, but it's just a fun game. It's a fun pick up and play game. It takes literally seconds to get into a match, and then, you're just... can't even describe it. Like, you're just mind shut off, and you're just having some good old hockey fun.
It's just fucking good.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense. It does what it needs to do, and that's all.
It sure does. Is it me again?
It is.
It is. So next up, we've got Chris Kaplane, who says, congrats on 100 episodes. It's a big milestone. Here's to many more. Thank you, Chris, for making my job
very much, buddy.
Making my job very easy. That was an easy one to read.
Yeah, we don't have to answer anything except for saying that
Yeah.
Chris is from the Retro Hangover podcast, and you should listen to
And-
them.
Oh,
and I
yes.
don't think we shouted out Retro Riders before for Hoagie Man. So yes, also listen to
Oh,
Retro
yeah,
Riders.
yeah.
I've been catching up on Retro Riders this week.
That's on
quickly,
me. I forget
quickly
where
going
everyone's
back
from.
Yeah,
Quickly going back to Retro Hangover there. I mean, they let me. They were the first podcast I ever did. I did Soul Blazer with them, and they kind of gave me the ability to start, learning how to do this. So a big shout out to Retro Hangover, and a lot of thanks to you guys for having me and Sam on. And I think you've been on a couple now, Sam, right?
I've been on one, and it was a fantastic experience. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. All right, so but big shout out to them. Thank you very much, guys. Listen to Retro Hangover. Excellent show. And we're going to wrap the comment section up with blibbity blobbity goo. Gross. Brian, why don't you give credit to Sam, Alan, and now regrettably Joe C on Spotify? That's Joe C. Fettuccini. Please spell his name in full. He continues, it only has your name listed under the heading. Why must you steal the spotlight from these talented individuals? Also, great job, y'all, on episode 100. He is correct, and I actually had to ask him what he was talking about. When I set up the Spotify, it was on Patreon, and I was just doing it quickly, so I threw my name under the name thing, meaning to change it later, and I've since updated it. But yeah, the Spotify feed, which is Retrotopia Expansion Pack, or Expansion Pass, not Retrotopia, another video game podcast, if anybody's ever wondering where all the Patreon stuff goes. It is now credited to us three, but arguably never Josie Fettuccini.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't care. I typically, I don't want credit. I just wander in and say my thing, and I just kind of shuffle out.
Honestly, I was wondering.
That's why I call you the Krusty the Clown of the podcast. That episode where he walks in to do the voiceover for the Krusty doll, he's just reads a lines off, and then buggers off.
It's like show mouth. I was honestly just wondering who these talented individuals were. Like, who the fuck
I
is
was
he
like, who are
talking
those
about?
guys?
Yeah.
Interesting. You got another podcast
Brian,
on the side that you do?
Stop finding talented individuals elsewhere and stealing credit from them.
That's how I make my money. I'm evil. All right, thanks everybody for the comments there. We're going to be skipping the gentleman's interlude this week because we got Alan here, so
Absolutely.
you get to hear him enough, and we're going to move right into our game, Choose One, Lose One, featuring our secret guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, roll up and choose your power-up from the game of the week. You pick a power, we pick a consequence. It's Choose One, Lose One, the game where everyone's a loser.
All right, it's Choose One, Lose One, and this secret guest we have been hinting at for this entire week is the host of Canada's #1 retro video game podcast, Remember the Game, the comedian from Edmonton himself, and the fitted ball cap enthusiast. It is Adam Blank. Thanks for joining us, Adam. We really appreciate this.
Of course, and thank you for recognizing my ball cap enthusiasm. It's like I wear the ugliest worn out clothes ever, but ball caps I take seriously, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you a secret I've never told you before. When you did the comedy show in Ottawa, I flipped your cap over to see what size it was because I know you like it to be a big secret. So I'm going to hold that over your head for a while.
You son of a bitch. There's two that I can make. But it's funny because like fitted caps are great, but like they're not perfect. Like that's why I hate ordering hats over the internet because you gotta see how it fits. You know, I have a Stewie Griffin head. I need to know how it fits on there.
Oh, so, I know that one.
Yeah.
Big wore a fitted hat for many years of my life, and all of a sudden now that size doesn't fit anymore. I don't like it.
Right? It's brutal. I don't understand. Like I get that. I get why like my gut and my ass and everything got fatter, but I don't know how my head get bigger. I don't understand.
Exactly. All right, so a quick explanation of this, choose one, lose one. Our Patreons chose a power item or ability from the game of this week. In this case, it's Super Mario Brothers 2. And then we, or today, Adam, is going to dish out the cost of said choice. Think the monkey paw. So then we all have a good laugh, and then we go to the Winchester and have a nice cold pint and wait for this all to blow over. So, Adam, do you have any questions before we start?
No, I think I get it.
All right, so our first commenter is Fallen Snow Kiku, and she says, I would like the ability to float short distances for being a woman.
Well, I mean, that one's easy because the monkey's paw, the drawback to that is that you have to be a woman. No, don't leave it in, but I don't want to I'm joking. Women are fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Shut up. It's fine. You know what I think the drawback to that is every soft person out there on the planet is now going to ask you to do everything even remotely difficult for them because you have the float. Have you ever like played a game with someone that's had access to that and they're just like, oh, I just go with Princess because she has the float. I just use Princess because she has the float. Everything's easier because you have the float. Expect that every time you go out now, Fallen Snow Kiku, everyone is going to be like, hey, there goes the one that can float. Let's go get her. She'll get our ball down. She'll help us cross the street. She'll get that cat out of that tree. It'll never end now. And eventually you'll be so mad that you'll be like, I don't think I can take this anymore. But you don't have any options because if you jump off a roof or something, you're just going to float. You're done. So be careful what you wish for, my friend.
Awesome. All right, our next one is Blaine the Hoagie Man, who says, I'll be generous this week and give Sam, Alan, and Brian the ability to float across large pits anytime they wear a dress.
See, this one, I don't feel like you guys will be punished for this. This is society because we're going to have to watch the three of you floating over our heads wearing dresses.
Oh, I'm freeballing it.
I know. That was as soon as I saw that one, I was like, well, they're going to be fine. We're the ones that are going to suffer for this. That's going to be terrible.
Oh, yeah. Look out below.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, God. Just the mental image of looking up at that's the ugliest hot air balloon I've ever seen. What is that? So,
it looks deflated.
They glued hair to it or something. That's weird.
Oh, God. Right down the bad rabbit hole. All right, next up we got
Awful.
Super Hooli, who says the ability to go into a terrifying other dimension that I'm never in long enough to figure out what it's really about.
That is, that is terrifying. Like in Mario 2, when you go into that other world and I hate that because you go in and you have like 3 seconds to figure out where the mushroom is or do you want the coins? Like 3 seconds. I hate it. I would say the monkey's part of that is after you do it a couple of times, you'll be like, oh, this other dimension's not that bad. There's nobody around. There's no social media. It's nice and quiet. And then just as you start to get comfortable in that new dimension, you get brought back to the real world and realize how fucked it is.
Oh, that would be the worst.
Yeah, I think you're better off in the terrifying other dimension, frankly.
It's like being born over and over again. You're in that nice warm womb and then
Exactly.
all of a sudden you're in the world. Oh, God.
Exactly, yeah.
Next up, we got Fill Up My Mouth with Farts, which obviously comes from RTG because I always hear that name there. Being able to just crouch for a second or two to build up jumping power, can dunk a basketball now.
This is the easiest one for me because your ironic name of filling up your mouth with farts, every time you crouch for a second or two to build up that jumping power, you're going to be ripping some major ass and literally filling your own mouth up with farts because you have to crouch into that fart in time to build up the jump. So
and just don't look up because, if your mouth is full of farts, it might be full of poop too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're just going to have to you're literally going to be squatting down and then just shitting your pants and then just having to sit in that for a couple of seconds before you can jump. So it'll be you can do it anytime you want, but the price has to be paid, my friend.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious says, I would like to be able to use a continue in case I die.
So I thought about this one, and much like how many of us, I'm sure you can relate to this, buddy. How many of us have been playing an old game and you're on your last life or something and you're like, fuck, do I have any more continues? I don't, you know what I mean? You're I don't know if this is, so that's going to be your problem. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is the first time you die, you'll be able to use a continue and you'll be like, well, fucking hey, I get to keep going. But now you're going to live in this insane state of paranoia where you'll never know if you've got another continue in the bank or not, which I think sounds scarier than just living life on one life and not knowing when it's going to end.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'd be right into the padded room on that one.
Yeah, you could have 20 more continues, or it could be look out for that truck. Who knows? So have fun.
All right, next we have the big deal. It says, I would like the ability to pull gold coins from an overgrown grass in my yard in the nighttime sky.
You can do that all you want, but all the coins you're pulling are Canadian loonies, which is our $1 gold coin, and they are pretty worthless around most of the world. So enjoy all your loonies that you can't spend in America because they're worth about 10 cents.
Yeah, go get arcade tokens. They're worth more.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, you're not kidding.
Next up, we have H or who says, I would like the ability to see how many lives I got left, be able to collect more lives, and be able to continue if I die. Then I can figure out how much risk to take in life before getting a final game over.
That's a fucking... I feel like that's almost like the I want more wishes wish. So I'll just say that, okay, you can do that, but every time you get hit by one thing, you shrink to about 2 or 1/3 of your regular size. And then when you get hit again, you have to rewind in time back to wherever the beginning of that day started. So you better be careful because your life could be Groundhog's Day very, very quickly. And you'll have to play 2/3 of your Groundhog's Day running around at about 2'6". And you'll just be stuck in that day.
Piano.
Yeah, you're taller than me too, but.
Next up, we have Blue Yoshi 94, who says the ability to meet a fellow Blue Mario character.
The only problem with that is the only other Blue Mario character I could think of is Blue Toad. And is there anyone out there that likes Blue Toad?
If you do, don't write in because we don't want to hear from you.
No, it's like you want Red Toad. Like it's Blue and Yellow Toad are the crappiest toads. Everybody wants Red Toad. So that's what you're gonna get, Blue Yoshi. Blue Yoshi's sweet because Blue Yoshi can fly everywhere. Blue Toad is just an abomination, and that's your new best friend.
Oof. And finally, we have Chris Copeland, who says, I want the ability to turn into a giant creepy face and incessantly chase people around when they grab my shit.
You can do that, but very quickly, the internet trolls are going to learn that they can just constantly summon you and fuck with you by grabbing your shit and then putting it down whenever you get close. So you're going to spend your entire life chasing internet trolls and not actually being able to catch them because they're just going to keep dropping your stuff when you get 2 pixels away. I hate that mask. I hate that mask.
Is terrible.
But Chris Copeland, now you're stuck just flying around forever, chasing trolls that'll never quite let you catch them.
All right, that's everybody. Thanks very much, Adam, for doing this. Really appreciate it. Check out Remember the Game wherever you get your podcast, released every Wednesday on Canada time.
Thanks for having me, buddy. That was fun.
Oh my God, I can't believe we got Adam Blank from Remember the Game to do that. Thanks, Adam. Thank you very much. It was much appreciated that you took the time out of your busy schedule to help us out. And before we get into the episode, we do have some...
I was going to say, after the pause, were we going to say anything about it? Because thank you, Adam.
Okay,
I wanted to say thank you personally, too, because that's incredible.
That is so fucking cool. And thank you for lending some legitimacy to our little podcast, which... Frankly, we've just kind of not stolen everything from Remember the Game, but it's certainly there's certainly some DNA in here.
I love how I was going for that natural flow there with after the pause, and Sam's just like, "Oh,
no way,
I didn't know after the pause."
No way, I'm gonna steamroll that because I want to say thank you to Adam.
I was going to give you a chance. God.
There he is.
It sounded like we were going into comments.
From talented individuals again.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. We're gonna never re-record that because we never re-record anything. So, Sam, you're the first comment down the Super Mario Brothers 2 comment section before we get into the episode proper.
All right. This one comes from Blaine the Hoagie Man from the Retro Riders podcast, who says, "Congratulations on 100 episodes. A's for 100 episode A's? As for Super Mario Brothers 2. Oh my gosh, I'm like reading this. Hold on. Cut that. I'm reading from the prompter without punctuation. All right. Let me start over. Congratulations on 100 episodes. As for Super Mario Brothers 2, I didn't actually start playing until it came out with the Super Mario All-Stars version for the Super Nintendo. I've played the NES version and I actually like the look and sound of the NES version a bit better. I agree. I'm gonna say that.
100%.
Absolutely. So next up, Brian. Do I have to fuck it up as much as Sam did?
Yes.
Oh, so much.
Holy shit. I can read.
Blue Yoshi 94. No, Blue Yoshi 94 says, "Can we talk about the GBA version voice acting?" We can talk about it, but I wasn't aware that it was a thing. And I'm gonna have to look this
It
up.
is.
Yeah.
I had to look it up because I never actually played the GBA version,
No.
and it was just a lot of woohoo.
Yeah,
ah,
I have.
yeah.
It gets annoying. It gets real
Oh,
fucking
God.
annoying. When we
Oh.
originally played this game, I played the NES because that's when I was like, I'm gonna play every single version, and like I don't. Let's be honest, I don't have time for that anymore. But I did. I played a little bit of the GBA version. I played a little Doki Doki Panic. Yeah, the GBA version has annoying little voice acting.
See, here I thought it was actually like talking. Mario was just wandering around like, "What the fuck is this a bullshit?" And
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like, where the fuck am I?
This has
You're
been
going
a
to eat
dream.
your vegetables. I'm going to come down there and shove them down your throat.
Yeah. Let me just pull up at this carrot. Yeah, okay. No, I'm disappointed that it's not that. So, there we go.
All right, wrapping up with Chris Coplin, who says, "I never really cared for this game. It just feels like it keeps on going, and it's a bit too long. It could have been shrunk down a bit. What makes it a bit more painful is how often level concepts or ideas can repeat, like having to face Birdo all the time. And the life system is a bit annoying, especially since you can only improve it by using the potion and going into Flip World. That said, it controls great, looks really good for an NES game, and having a unique characters that all handle different and still work adds a lot of replayability. I just wish you could save your game like in Doki Doki Panic." And yeah, that is one of my beefs of the game, is you can't save.
You could save in Doki Doki
Yeah.
Panic. That would make things so much better.
I know.
Doki Doki Panic, yeah, we talked about it, but Doki Doki Panic, you have to go through the game with each character. You don't get to pick one at the beginning of every level, so a save file would be very important in that
Don't
game.
remember what we talked about, Brian. I don't remember stuff. It's just like, and through the magic of podcasting, this is
You mean
divorced
these
by.
aren't recorded at the exact same moment?
Well, sorry, and Father
There you
Christmas
go,
is real,
kids.
guys.
The Disney magic is destroyed.
Oh, Disney.
Alan, do you want to lead us into that episode? Because I bet you know exactly when Super Mario Brothers 2 was created.
I absolutely do, Brian, and I'm going to get round to that in literally just a second, and I'm not going to procrastinate at all, because it is time to pull up some vegetables and throw some potions around and join us for the 100th episode of Retrotopia as we talk about Super Mario Bros. 2, released for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1988 in North America and 1989 wherever the fuck I was at the time. Thanks for all your comments and questions, and just thank you for listening for 100 episodes. Let's go.
All right, and welcome to episode 100. I don't know if that sounded exciting enough, but we're all excited to be here to talk about Super Mario Bros. 2, The Redux, for episode 100 of the Retrotopia podcast. How you doing, boys? Brian is here with me, and Alan.
Whoa, I am so excited. I'm as excited as Sam.
You know what? That got me going. I'm properly excited now.
It started off
100.
a little bit monotonous, but I picked it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, you did. You came back at the end there.
It tickled
It
my
kind of like
nethers.
it tells the progression of Retrotopia, because we started off a little bit nervous at the beginning, and now we're just super right out there, like flamboyantly podcasting like pros.
Wow,
Sure.
you guys aren't nervous anymore? Because I literally just shat myself.
Are you still?
I
don't-
shit myself before I do anything just to get it out.
That's actually a really good idea, as we've discussed
That would
before.
have been the play. That would have been
Oh
the
my god, we've been at the end of podcasts there and be like, yeah, this is great, and we're done. It's like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
We are just
Anyway.
middle-aged men full of Duke.
Full of Duke and the walnut-sized bladders. But we like Mario, so...
Yeah, that's right. Talking about a character that looks like us. Man, it's really come full circle, doesn't it?
Yeah. And he's about as old as some of us here as well.
Yeah. That's true.
Say that again, Alan?
Well, Mario is about as old as... Well,
as
me.
old as us.
Me, anyway.
I thought you said that's Zelda of us as well, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
If you have no further questions, then yes, that is exactly what I just said.
Zelda of Us is the new survival horror game. The
Yes.
Zelda of Us.
Oh, yeah. That's the one that takes place completely in the dark world there, and then Zelda's, she gets killed in front of Link, and Link goes into the future there, all depressed and stuff, drinking, and then he turns into a mediocre game.
I'd play it.
Yeah.
But let's actually do the proper Retrotopia treatment for Super Mario Brothers 2 now, because I don't think we really had quite nailed the formula in episode 0, as to be expected.
No.
So let's start with Brian. What's your history with this game?
Oh God! Like every kid in my age, you owned a copy of Super Mario Brothers 2. I don't think we got it right off the bat. I think it was just one of those games that magically found its way into our collection. But played it through and through many of times. It's one of those games. I think I might have actually played this more than the original Super Mario Brothers because I just like it a little bit better. It's a little more colorful than Super Mario Brothers 1, and it just feels like it's a highly upgraded game just because of the way they changed up the entire formula by stealing another game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Alan? I didn't mean to like, I don't know. I don't know what the word is.
Well, whatever it is, we're good.
Whatever. Yeah, I was gonna say because I asked Brian because I know Brian was a Nintendo kid and you are a Sega kid like me. So did you get a lot of chance to play this game as a kid, being a Sega kid?
I did actually, but not because we never had the NES, so I never played it on that console. I only played it because we did get a Super Nintendo, and we got.
Oh, you traitor! Fuck you! You never told me that. All right.
Yeah, we had.
Yeah,
I had a Super Nintendo as a kid as well. That shit would get me into trouble all the time because it wasn't supposed to be switched on before school, and I'm an idiot. But we had what is, to my mind, perhaps the best cartridge, value for money wise, on the Super Nintendo, which is, of course, the Super Mario All-Stars. So that is where I played a lot of Super Mario 2. And Brian, you said there about actually preferring it to the first one. And I'm glad you said that because I was going to say that as well. I mean, I played this game a lot more than the original, and even Super Mario 3, which is on the same cart, as you know. It's just, I don't know, yeah, it was bright, it's colourful, it was wacky and weird, and it just, for some reason, this out of all three of them just struck the biggest chord with me. So yeah, I never completed it until, a couple of days ago. It was just one of those games that I would just chuck on, get as far as I could, and leave it at that. But I always enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, it's a tough game.
Yeah,
it gets tough.
It is a tough game, but it's also fun. And it's consistently fun the whole way through.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't have it. Also, obviously, I had a Sega. I think we had a Nintendo briefly, an NES, but I was too young to really get too into it. But before we got a Sega, and I think I'd play this at cousins' houses or friends' houses or something. So I liked it. I liked the music. I liked the colors. Obviously, the game mechanics were kind of fun. But I'm a couple of years younger than you guys, so being little when I was playing this, I would frequently not get past the jumps with those logs on the waterfall, and the second world. So like that's kind of like where I would tap out a lot when I was really little.
Be embarrassed.
Yeah, I should be. But you know, if I had grown up with this or had a copy of this, I would definitely have played a lot more of it. But I do quite enjoy it. I've gone back and, you know, obviously played plenty of it now.
Well, as a kid, this is one of those milestone games that when you beat it, it was just like you get to do a little bit of bragging about it, because it was hard enough that when you're young, the latter levels are quite the challenge. I mean, getting from World 1 through the Ice World, I think that's 4, not a huge problem, but yeah, getting to the end of the game there, God, it just starts getting frustratingly hard.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's a trick to it, a little bit of almost like problem solving or puzzle solving, right? Sorry, Alan. Go ahead.
No, you're right. There is certainly an element of trial and error with this game. It's just one of those that you just repeatedly bash your head against until you get good enough to beat it. But I think World 4, funny you should say, Brian, is probably about as far as I'd ever get in this game.
Me too.
I might have gotten to World 5 on occasion, but never any further than that. So it does.
Yeah,
it does
I
have.
can see that.
It does have a nice. But I would say like the difficulty curve is fairly even. You know, it's quite a smooth. Like nothing is vertical with regards to difficulty here.
No, it's just a good solid platform, and I don't know if the Doki Doki Panic that this is based off of was like done. It was done by Nintendo and I think Fuji TV or something like that. So I don't know if Nintendo built this game and then decided that, you know, like, let's just slap Mario in and throw it over into the States so it does have that Nintendo experience behind it or not. I never looked into it that hard.
Yeah,
but
it does translate well over into a Mario game, though, doesn't it?
yeah, it's like almost damn near spot on. I mean, it is spot on, obviously, because they literally did that, but Doki Doki Panic by itself is still a fun game.
Yeah, I think
mostly because nothing's fucking changed.
I'm really glad that they picked such a fun game to reskin as a Mario game. Like, I'm glad they didn't just panic or, you know, well, you know, Super Mario Brothers 2 as we have it in Japan is too hard for the Americans, which, I mean, it's a hard game.
I love that. I love how we got so many games like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's Final Fantasy for Americans because the Japanese thought we sucked at video games and didn't like hard video games.
Yeah, but
fast forward 30 years and then you got people who love Souls games.
Right, but also we love both games now. Like, you know, Super Mario Brothers 2, what we call Lost Levels, is very challenging but a fun game, and then also like we got this brilliant game on top of it. Where I mean, you get to play as Luigi and Toad and Peach, or Toadstool as she's called in this game. But like, that's a huge leap over the original Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Where you played as Mario and Green Mario.
Yeah, Mario and Green Mario. That's right.
I didn't even thought of that. But that is.
Oh shit! Are we talking about Mario's missing again?
No. He's in this one. He's there. Don't worry.
All right.
But that's a great way to segue into the 4 characters. Like,
yeah,
they are. How is it? You got. I'll look up the Doki Doki players later, but Mario is the well-balanced all-around player. Luigi is the high jumper. Toad is the one who can pick shit up fast, and Princess Peach floats in the air. Mm-hmm. I'm going to end up calling her Princess Peach throughout this because
that's fine. It doesn't matter.
I think I've scrubbed Princess Toadstool from my lexicon.
Yeah, we all know who you mean.
But it gives you quite the variety of who to play, and every level you get to pick a character, so you get to switch it up as you play. So some games you might have the need for Princess's floating or Luigi's higher jump, and then other levels you might need to pick up shit a little bit quicker. And that kind of really adds variety to the game, because in Doki Doki Panic, you have to play the entirety of the game with one character.
See,
so
I was going to ask that actually, because
interesting.
I didn't play Doki Doki Panic, but I did watch some footage of it, and it is identical in almost every aspect. But it looks to me, and maybe you can confirm this, but it looks to me like you have to complete the game all the way through with every single character. Like that,
Yeah, I guess if you're completing the game, like I've never completed Doki Doki Panic, but when I played it today, every character has kind of a level checklist there of what levels they've completed, and I don't think there's a save state on it at all. But I was playing as the third character, the character that was in Toad's slot. I don't know if his abilities are the same, but yeah, it would just go from level to level to level with him. And the way I figured is I would finish the game and probably get a choice to pick one of the other three there to do the same. And I wonder if there's like a better ending for finishing the game with all four.
that would be interesting. I mean, maybe there is. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
You know?
What character do you use the most though? Do you tend to switch it up, or do you stick with one and
Oh, I switch.
do you really? I don't. 'Cause-
Yeah, I'll start with Luigi because he can bypass, like he can use the power jump where you hold down and you get kind of that boost, and he can bypass the cave to get to the second level of that first part of World 1-1.
I found a way to bypass it with Toad.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
did you?
I think I did it with Mario as well. Is that the bit where you have to throw the bombs down the ladder in order to? Is that the bit you're talking
Oh,
about?
no. Yeah, that bit. But you can skip the inside of that by jumping from the waterfall on the first level to the second level outside of that cave.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I did not do that. Generally, I play through pretty much the entire game as Mario this time round. But, you know, over the years, I have tried all the other characters. But I tend to try and steer clear of, like, Princess Peach and what have you, because I kind of felt like challenging myself, and she kind of takes a lot of the difficulty out, especially in those later levels. Not to say I didn't use her on occasion, but yeah, Mario was my guy.
Once I discovered,
Oh, he's easy all around.
yeah, he is. And I'm looking at, if you go to the wiki, there's like a page for this game, and they actually do have like the ranks out of 5 stars for each of their stats, like the speed, the jump, and the strength. I'm a Toad guy for this game. I'll always rock Toad, and I usually don't switch it up. And I think
being able to pick stuff up. I mean, that's the problem I had when I was playing with Princess Peach. It's just like, yeah, she has that float, but when you're trying to pluck those eggs out of the air and throw them back, like, she is dead slow picking stuff up. And,
Oh,
and
yeah,
you,
yeah, and
9 times out of 10, you'll take a hit.
those parts where you have to like dig, I need to do that quickly. I can't stand like
That's where I picked Toad as well. Like,
Yeah.
you got to have Toad for those desert levels to get down those pipes,
Yeah.
especially when you're being chased by something.
yeah, I
Wish
suppose
I'd have
if
thought
you
of that.
yeah, I suppose if you switch it up, then you can take advantage of that. But I don't know. I like Toad because I like how fast he moves too.
Yeah, he's a good character. Got a lot of love for Toad.
He's spunky,
Yeah.
spunky little guy.
Spunky little guy.
I like shaking it up.
He's a fun guy.
Like, I'm not super strategic in
one.
who I pick. Sometimes I just had Toad for too long, and I'm just like, let's try Princess for a bit. Let's add like a little bit of fun to this and float.
Oh yeah, but that's one of the strong suits of this game is like you can do that, and as you said, you can do that every level. You know, you can mix it up with these 4 characters however you want, and that's just fun. You know, it's not always enjoyable to be locked into one character when you know that there are more available. So that's one change that they made from the original game that I really think benefits this.
Well, I think the other change they made from this game that kind of threw me off the first time I played it was you don't stomp on enemies in this game.
True.
That really threw me off. Like, you could stand on Birdo's head and Birdo can't kill you with its eggs. So you just stand on enemies and you can walk, and literally if the enemy is the same size as the next one over, you're just going to go over top of those enemies.
Well, yeah,
It took little me a little bit to get used to.
well, sometimes
You know
you
what?
have to do that to get past certain sections of the game, like
Yes,
riding
yes,
eggs
yes.
across chasms and things like that.
I was always like fairly certain that Birdo would hurt me no matter what, and I think just this most recent playthrough, I was playing around with it before we recorded this, and happened to jump on top of Birdo, like missing an egg or something, and I just like, oh wow, you know, if you're having a hard time with some of those later Birdo fights where they start shooting fireballs instead of eggs, and you need like a little bit of a rest to kind of like, get your bearings or whatever, you just hop on their head and just hang out.
You're invincible because they can't hurt you. They don't even try to shake you off.
No, yeah, and they don't move too fast for you to just fall off or anything. You just kind of park it there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I've never actually tried that, but that does sound awesome. Oh.
Well,
has anybody ever tried to jump on one of the boss's heads? Like Mouser or the Hydra or whatever?
I'm pretty sure they hurt you, don't they?
I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever tried.
No, I haven't. I could never get up there or get close enough to those to even try it. Because
maybe that was it. Maybe I'm all business.
I mean, you could, but I mean, you'd be moving around. You'd waste a life, and it's really nice that they. I mean, lives aren't necessarily plentiful unless you get really, really lucky in this game, and that's another thing that like couple times I would like play through the first few worlds, and I'd get like really, really unlucky on those slot machines in between levels. And I would get like, I'd end up with like 10 coins because I really figured out how to like maximize certain levels of getting those coins for the slot machine. And I'd get like 0 lives out of it.
Right. And there is like 0 way to cheese that because I do not have the reaction times to line that shit up. Plus, I have no idea what constitutes an extra life on those things.
No, I don't
it just
either.
Seems like such a random.
Cherries.
Is it?
Is it just pears?
Cherries. One cherry is an extra life as long as it's from the left to right. 1 cherry is an extra life. 2 is 2 extra lives. 3 is 3 extra lives, and then a 3 matching of anything else is an extra life.
Oh, how about that? I had no idea. Like
So
I
all
could
to do
not.
with cherries.
I could not piece that together.
There's a 5-up, isn't there?
Cherry.
Isn't there a 5-up?
Possibly.
If there is, I never got it.
I can't find anything about the.
I feel like I've seen it once.
About the
I don't know.
bonus games. Are you sure you're not thinking Super Mario Brothers 3?
I'm not sure that I'm not thinking Super Mario Brothers 3.
Well,
Pull your head out of your ass.
that's a revisited episode for another time, Sam.
Yeah, right. I don't know if we'll ever run out of things to talk about, though.
Oh, hell no.
No, we've got a pretty beefy list of games from 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Plus, we haven't yet decided what game we're going to add to the list during this episode, so look out for that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, where else? Where do we go next?
What the fuck is this game about?
Yeah, I mean,
No,
like,
genuinely.
it's so weird, and it's like I appreciate like you said, like the colors, the sounds, everything about this game is very nostalgic. But at the time, really, like you really didn't consider this something completely different, which it ended up being.
Yeah, if you didn't read the game book, you didn't know about how they got to this world. Mario just starts falling from a door.
Yeah.
And that door is like a gateway to Dream World. That's actually where you are, and that kind of is the same way Doki Doki Panic starts. These 2 kids get pulled into this book, which brings them into Dream World, and then the Doki Doki Panic super cool team up group shows up, and they jump into the book after them, and that's how the game starts. So if you didn't read the manual of this one, you didn't know you're in a dream until you finished the game.
Yeah, which that kind of clued me on. I mean, I think at some point in time I probably knew that, but it wasn't until I got to the end of the game.
This has been spoiled.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. But
I mean, nobody I've ever met doesn't know that Super Mario Brothers 2 takes place in a dream. But
it's all a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's no Bowser, there's no there's shells, but you don't get them from like Koopa Troopas or there's no Goombas. It's very unique, I'll say.
Yeah, and that's one of the assets that change, because in Doki Doki Panic you get this weird black thing that comes out, and that does the same thing as the shell.
Yeah,
okay, so
I saw that.
Yeah, they just kind of reskinned
face.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of things they reskin, like the eagle doors there where they open their mouth are actually like black masks.
Yeah, they kind of look like luchadors.
Yeah, something like that. and it's just like you're getting swallowed by a like this realistic looking head, which is kind of creepy.
Yeah. I mean, the eagle's kind of creepy as well, if I'm honest. But yeah, just
Eagle represents America.
yeah, getting swallowed by freedom. But I don't know. Do you know what I really, really like about this game is that it introduced a lot of staples to like Mario canon, like the Shy Guys and what have you. And like, I love those little bastards. You know, I like a Shy Guy more than like the Koopa Troopers. I don't know what it is. It's just ever since I was a kid, I just thought that was such a cool little enemy design.
Yeah, they look like little bandits. You know, nowadays
Yeah.
they kind of more show up in the like in the Yoshi games.
I guess, yeah. I just the little Jawa looking fuckers. I appreciate a good Shy Guy, and I thought it was kind of strange because they're not changed at all from Doki Doki Panic. Unless I
That is kind of where they came from.
Okay, I'm looking at the Doki Doki Panic wiki. The shells in Super Mario Brothers 2 were originally blackface heads.
Oh no,
I
thanks.
can see why those were changed.
Yeah, let's
Wow.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, magic potions were originally magic lamps. The mushrooms you get to get more health were hearts.
Mm-hmm.
The one-up mushrooms were originally the heads of the character you're playing.
Okay.
Grass tufts were black instead of red, those tufts being the things that you pull the vegetables out of the ground. Mask gates were originally generic masks instead of hawk masks. The explosion icon says bomb in Doki Doki Panic and bomb with a B, I guess BOM for Doki Doki Panic, and BOMB in Super Mario Brothers 2. Phantos were less menacing originally. Mushroom blocks were originally various masks. Some vegetables look slightly different. Cherries, pow, vines, grass tufts, crystal balls, bomb fuses, water, cloud platforms, and spikes are still, unlike Super Mario Brothers 2 where they're animated. Albatrosses have only 2 frames of animation. I don't care. And waterfalls move very fast.
Oh
Same
man,
with the quicksand.
I'm really glad that they don't because I think it would really make my eyes go crossed.
Well, yeah, if you like when I was playing, like I said a little bit earlier today, and those waterfalls can actually disorient you a little bit because they're just going. Like, I mean, it's a waterfall, but they were slowed down in Super Mario Brothers 2 for sure, and it changes stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy they went
that
with
video
that.
you sent us, and yeah, that thing is like pretty trippy.
Yeah, like, why would you do that to us?
Yeah,
Japan?
especially does that even count like the waterfall caves like World 3 where the whole background is water?
Oh god, it must
Yes.
do.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
That'd be fucking awful.
You know, I know a couple of years ago when we did episode 0, I did play around with Doki Doki Panic a little bit, but I didn't go back to it this time, and I didn't because I knew this time around I knew the game was pretty much a 1-for-1. But what I didn't think I would enjoy about it is that I've become so familiar with the sprites that are used for Super Mario 2 that I think it would just confuse me. Like, it just wouldn't be fun because it'd be like, oh, well, it's interesting that this is a different thing, but I kind of don't know what it does until you have to kind of like relearn. It's almost like it's a different visual language. It's just really,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wouldn't be interested in going back to it.
It's kind of like what is this item the equivalent of? Like, what thing that I am used to is this supposed to be? Right?
Yep.
Right, and in some cases, apparently, it's blackface, which
Yeah.
which is not okay. Oh, I
How
don't
about
think that's
no?
maybe not what it was. Not 1-for-1, but I mean that's what it looks like. I like also those little like hopping ghosts. Kind of look like they're called ninjas, but they're like little. They look like little pajama ninja guys. I think they kind of look like Gengar, which is pretty fun because that's one of my favorite Pokemon.
Oh my god, me too.
Yeah.
I fucking love Gengar.
How are we just discovering this now?
I don't know. I've literally got a Gengar t-shirt in my drawer.
I've got a couple of them, yeah.
Oh,
And a hat. Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, anyways. What do you
off
think of
alive.
Absolutely. What do you think of these boss battles? There's some pretty interesting ones.
You know, as soon as you get the mushroom block for the boss battles, that really does change everything.
Oh, yeah.
Those mushroom blocks just drop in front of you, and to throw them, you have to be running.
Yeah, it makes it kind of a challenge though to like get yourself. It takes a certain level of timing to run and throw it in the direction you want, and then snap back so that you can then start moving in the other
Don't-
direction.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's
And not to mention, they don't disappear. So when you do throw them, they're going to be where they land, and that's if you only get one of them. I think there's one boss fight where you get one,
Yeah.
and you have to go run it down and pick it up and do it again.
Do you actually
Yeah,
have you
it's
ever
like-
hurt yourself with one of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Plenty of times.
Because they're heavy. If
I
you
don't think
throw
so.
it and you're in the path of it somehow, it'll hurt you.
Yeah, because you can overrun it. Like, if you throw it and you keep running, I think you keep up with it. And if it's bouncing when you run into it, it hurts you.
Oh,
Man, I wish I could run and keep up with something that I threw.
that'd be awesome.
Man.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I can. I threw out my back, and I can only move as fast as it.
Yeah. That works. And you hurt
was
yourself
fucking
too.
clever.
So.
That was clever. Now, I like these boss fights because, far from it just being a jump on the thing 3 times and you're done, you know, I like that every one of them kind of has a slightly different strategy to it. You know, you have
Yeah.
to kind of figure out, well, fuck, he's up there. How the hell do I get up there and hurt it? You know, it's
Oh, like, yeah, like Mouser. Like, he throws the bombs at you, and you have to pick up the bombs, or you can just catch them.
I tell you
And they're
what,
flashing, so you got to fucking launch them back.
when I found out that I could literally catch those things out of the air, it was a whole different ball game. Like,
You almost-
I
Yeah.
go on.
Well, as a Toad player, I have to. You know, like you have to use the charge jump to even get high enough to catch some of those without
Right.
being in a danger spot. And then sometimes you have to use another charge jump or jump just right to even put it on his platform. So it's like,
Oh, really?
yeah, you kind of have to. It's a good mechanic to have, but not one that I think everyone knows about.
No, I genuinely enjoyed just plucking those fucking things out of midair and just feeding them back to it. You just kind of feel like a boss.
Yeah, interception.
Yeah,
Interception.
Mouser, the boss, has become the boss.
Yeah,
And I really
take
like,
that, you son of a bitch.
I don't know about the second because you see Triclide twice. That's the 3-headed
You
snake.
see them all twice, don't you?
No. Mouser and Triclide are twice. There's 2 other unique ones.
Which one's Triclide?
That's the 3-headed
Oh yeah,
snake.
because there's only 7 worlds in this one.
I
Yeah,
remember
so they
seeing
reused-
that once.
They reuse them. I don't know if maybe it's a sub boss, but it looks like in World 6 you got to fight like a special Birdo and a Triclide again. So it might be like a sub boss type thing, or like a little mini boss rush. But like that first time you fight them is pretty fun because it's the first time you get those heavy mushroom bricks, and I actually you can make yourself a wall because his fireballs don't go through those.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's what I do is I'll actually make myself a bit of a wall real quick with those blocks, and then stand behind it like a bunker. And then you can either go grab more of the blocks and throw them over, or there's always like an enemy bird, one of those little white birds called a tweeter, and it's got like a weird looking mask on. You can go grab that thing, and it's easier to throw. So I sometimes will like drop down to the bottom where it's hopping around, pick it up, and then run up behind my wall that I've made and just chuck them over. And sometimes if you throw it just right, you can actually hit it twice because the like animation or like the hitbox for it will register, and then it will register again if it's still in the hitbox. So I've taken them out by like chucking it in a certain way that it'll just like hang in there just long enough to hit them twice.
Well, they kind of skip, don't they, when they hit something?
Yeah.
They kind of like do this little bounce that, yeah, conceivably they can get hit by, or you can take out like an enemy behind them with, which I always enjoy.
Yeah, I like that too. And I don't know if that was ever intentional or if it was kind of just like just part of the design that just kind of happened, but it's actually kind of a fun little trick.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's a lot of that kind of stuff in this game.
God, it's just so much fun.
I honestly really like the Wart fight, the final boss fight.
Yeah, me too.
Where you had to catch the vegetables and then feed it to him. I always found that to be like a really fun way to actually, take on a boss, because you have to catch the vegetables. They don't land in the ground. They only spew out for so long, and you're dodging Wart's attacks at the same time. It becomes a real fun game loop of get a weapon, wait for the moment his mouth is open, throw it perfectly into his mouth, hurt him, repeat, and you had to do that like 3 or 4 times to end him off, and it was really well done.
I tell you,
I think it might be
not
5.
for the life of me figure out what I was doing wrong, because I'd never done that fight before, and I was just yeeting these vegetables at him, and it was doing nothing, and it's just like, what the fuck am I doing wrong here? And it took me ages to figure out that I needed to actually hit him when his mouth was open. And yeah, I mean, that is a great little twist to the fight. And it's not a difficult boss fight, which I really appreciated, because those last couple of worlds just really had me tearing my hair out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I think I was probably down to my last life, and I was just like, oh, actually, this has a very obvious pattern, and I can figure this out. If I can just figure out how to hit this guy, I'm home free.
Yeah, that's kind of... I do appreciate that in a game where it does get pretty difficult, to just have something at the end that's not terrible, right? Just, it's like, well, you have to, do these last 2, like, super, super hard levels, and then there's a boss that's going to freaking kick your ass at the end. Like, it's kind of nice to just have something that's fun. It is challenging, don't get me wrong. You do have to do it a fair amount of times, and it is easy to slip up if you lose your concentration. But generally, like, having a nice pattern that you can fall into and finish the game after, a hard few levels is pretty nice, I'd say.
Extremely, extremely fair.
Yes.
Yes.
How did it take you a while to figure out, did you know going into it that you had to feed him the vegetables? I think that's a really fun little trick at the end, or a little, like, almost like a puzzle that you have to figure out.
Not a fucking clue. Not a clue. I spent so long just whipping these vegetables, and, like, nothing was happening.
Yeah, because I actually didn't, because that might be the only type of enemy in this game where you actually have to throw something into something else. For the most part, otherwise you're just throwing things at the enemies, or like in the Mauser's case, like letting the bombs explode in their general vicinity, like that sort of thing, like exterior damage rather than like feeding them something.
Yeah.
So that's kind of unique.
Yeah, and it was a nice way to change up the end of the game and make him truly feel like a boss, like the last boss, because you couldn't just hurt him the same way you hurt everybody else. You had to do a little bit of thinking. Only reason I knew how to kill him was because my older brother beat the game before I did, so I watched him do it.
The funny thing I was just thinking of is, of the 3 Super Mario games that are on the NES, like, I think this is probably the most accessible, as in, like, if you played enough, I think it's probably the least difficult of the 3 to finish. And maybe I'm wrong about that, or maybe that's just my opinion. But why do you think that is? Like, is it really the different style?
It was released because it was considered an easier game. Us American North Americans, we know game good, according to the Japanese, and so it is going to definitely be an easier game than Super Mario Brothers, which you can say is a pretty easy game to begin with, because that did not have a lot of strategy in it. It was just rinse and repeat.
Right.
But no, I get why. Like, this is definitely a game I would get a young kid to play before Super Mario Brothers, because it is a lot easier.
I think it comes down to the fact that, the other Mario games are far more skill-based, where This is kind of a more... I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but it's a more pattern-based game. Like, as long as you learn the patterns and the enemy placements and things like that, and you can sort of explore alternate routes and just different strategies to get around certain areas, it just gives you a little bit more leeway with regards to how you want to play the game.
Right, and I think there was some trial and error. Like, we really didn't mention how you get coins, which I'm sure a lot of people know, but in case you don't, you get these, some of the weeds or like tufts that you pull up end up being these potions that when you throw them down, it turns into a door, and then you can flip to like a dark version
Subworld.
Yeah, it's like the frame that you're on. So you really only get to whatever screen you walk through the door is the only screen that you get on the other side for a limited time. And it takes a lot of trial and error to figure out the best place to throw it down, because in later worlds, when you find one of those, it's probably not, that screen where you pulled it up is probably not the best place to throw it down. You might have to go a ways, like holding on to that as long as possible before you throw it down and find, either a mushroom to give you a little bit of health or, more of the tufts that'll give you coins. So there's a little bit of trial and error and learning. And from that, it becomes kind of formulaic, because you figure out as you go along, like, I can maximize the number of coins that I get if I throw it here rather than where I picked it up, that sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there are...
Yeah, and then another thing about the subworld, or whatever you want to call it, you have warp zones in this game, and you need that door in order to activate the warp zone, because you have to do it in the Subcon world.
100%, yeah. And I did make use of those, because, it got to a point where I know I can do the first, 4 or 5 worlds. So up until a point, I was just like, you know what? I know where these warps are, and I can't remember what it was as a kid, but there was some video cassette that we had back in the day that I just think had video games and cheats and things on it, literally on the cassette. And
That's
I
awesome.
would watch that over and over again. So that first warp in 1-3, I think it is. I know that better than I know my neighborhood. It's just so ingrained into my memory. But yeah, there are some of those potions that I still to this day don't know where the best place to put it. There's one in I don't know if it's World 5 or World 6, one of the desert levels, and it's just I've no fucking idea where to put this thing, because I can't get it anywhere close to anywhere good because there's too many enemies in the way, and it's just I just end up wasting it.
Yeah, there's one in World, I don't know if it's 4 or 5, where you actually have to... no, it's not 5. I think it is 4. But basically, you have to pick it up and then hop on a Birdo egg and ride over a few screens, and that's where there's a couple of platforms with 3 little tufts on it each, so you can pick up 6 coins or something like that. But if you just throw it down where you picked it up, you're only going to get 2.
Yeah,
and sometimes you have to sacrifice. Yeah. Oh,
one of the warps in the ice level, you need to get across to that from the whale to the tiny little island to use the warp. So you're carrying that across a fucking ice level, which, by the way,
Yeah.
ice levels in video games are just fucking awful. I'm just putting it out there. You have perfected the platforming art. You have got a movement scheme and a control scheme that is snare drum tight. And for some reason, some arsehole always thinks, well, what if we just completely fuck up the controls to this game and just make it terrible? Nobody likes slidey controls in a platformer. Nobody. Ice levels and water levels, just get in the fucking bin.
Yeah, the only...
Well said.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought that as far as this compared to the other Mario games on the NES, I think that the platforming is a little bit slip-slidey to begin with. And... yeah, to add the ice even makes it worse. And I think I always get nervous. At least there's not a lot of bottomless pits, I would say. But there's enough where I do get a little bit nervous if I have to platform across something that's not, maybe a couple of sprites long or whatever. Not a big area to land on, because I feel like I'm just going to slide off. And that happens quite often.
Especially
ice
Toad
notwithstanding.
That guy's nippy. So if you're gonna
Right.
slide with anyone, it's gonna be Toad.
Right, because he's so fast. I think that's part of where his speed comes in. Is like, yeah, he's fast and you can get away from stuff, especially those floaty masks when you have the key.
Don't.
But yeah, he maybe has a little bit of problem stopping.
The masks as well
Hey.
can go fuck themselves because you can't
That's
convince
true.
me they didn't influence the sun from Mario 3. So fuck them.
But yeah, they zero in on you.
How many times did you have the key and the mask was chasing you, and you reflectively threw the key and it fell off a cliff or went into a hole? I do that all the fucking time.
I'm
Are there
glad to say not
places where
many.
you can lose the key?
Well, yeah, if you drop the key into the hole, you just have to go back and grab another key.
Oh, well, at least you can grab another key. But yeah, I always have to throw it, and I try to use it as a weapon when I can to like kind of kill two birds with one stone. You can take out an enemy and get the mask off your tail, but also the key has the same type of physics as the mushroom brick. And
Mushroom
you,
block,
Yeah,
yeah.
you have to be careful throwing that key around because there's one where you have to go dig down underneath and get into a door, and then you have to hop back up the where you just came from, and if you throw the key while you're jumping up the on these narrow platforms, you can actually kill yourself pretty easily. You could like crush yourself with the key, so you have to be really careful
Yeah.
with it. So that also gets kind of frustrating. On top of like trying to like the stress level of trying to avoid this stupid floating mask and all the shy guys that are walking around, you also can kill yourself with this key.
Because why not? Of course you can.
I like, speaking of all the accessories, the stopwatch has to be one of my favorite mechanics in this game.
Why
Where you pick up the large vegetables, and after the fifth one, it's a stopwatch, and it just pauses everything on the screen for about 15 seconds.
Man, I am
Yeah,
learning
I've
stuff
forgotten
about
about
this
that.
game. Is that why that happens? Because there's an actual
Yeah.
stopwatch
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, 5 big vegetables. The 5th vegetable turns into a stopwatch.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay. I just learned
It's like
that.
if you get 5 cherries, that's what brings up the Starman.
Yeah,
Yes.
that I knew. And I also didn't know that. I didn't really realize there were warps. I've never used them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they're not well advertised like the first Mario game.
I mean, or the third.
I only
like,
remember these.
It's not like they're handing you a warp whistle. Like you really got to seek it out, right?
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like I think I only knew these warps because of Nintendo Power.
Interesting. Yeah, I never knew that they. I just learned about them now. We didn't even talk about them last time, to my knowledge. Like, I've never used them. Interesting.
No, my.
Because I didn't know where they
definitely
were.
used them a bunch. I definitely used them a bunch
Well-
on this run.
First warp is in 1-3. I know that one instinctively. I just cannot remember where the second warp is.
So I know
that's-
there's a couple, and I know that. So 1-3 will take you through to World 4, and then in World 4, I think it's 4-2 or 4-3. There's that area where you've got all of the whales, and the ice platforms and whatnot, and there is just that one little island with a rather tall pipe on it that you have to get to with the door, and that will take you to World 6. There is another one I think in World 3 that will take you to World 7, but I've never used that one. I've
Okay.
never found it.
While you were guessing, I looked up a wiki.
How did I do?
You did good, actually.
Pretty
World
good.
1-3 takes you to World 4. World 3-1 takes you to World 5. World 4-2 takes you to World 6, and World 5-3 takes you to World 7. so
Oh,
there's
it's
4
5-3,
warps.
yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, I
And if
never
you know
found
where
one
they
in
all are,
5-3.
you can get through it pretty quick. Man.
Actually, if you use the first warp, you can't use the second warp.
Yeah, because you kind of skip over World 3, right?
Well, right.
Yeah, and if you use the second warp, you can't use the... you can only use 2 warps in this game.
Yeah, that's clever how they stagger them like that. Very cool. Like, man, I mean, that's clever, right? That's... You could use the first one to get to 3, then play 3 to 5, which is a really tough stretch of the game, actually, and then go 5 to 7. Oh, man,
Yeah,
I
see,
mean, like,
that's-
just think of all the different possibilities.
Exactly, and that's as I say, that's what I was doing because I'd already see. I don't mind using a warp when I've already proved that I can complete the levels that I'm passing because now I'm just trying to save time. The problem with that is, yeah, you are sort of jumping ahead some, but you're also sacrificing all of the potential lives you could be collecting along the way with the slot machine. So, you know, I would find myself getting to World 6, getting to World 7, and not having much to work with. So it's kind of well balanced like that.
Yeah, never thought about it that way. I actually never knew you could only take 2 warps until just now.
Yeah, it's
It's,
really interesting how they did that.
Yeah, it's very intuitive of them to make a design that gives you a lot of options, but doesn't let you take them all in one run.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you,
play the game how you want to play it.
Exactly. Something else I just thought of, like, what do you think of the aesthetic of this game? Because there was definitely a time I remember like the late 80s, early 90s, where this was kind of, and I'm sure it was a marketing push too, but like this was kind of the face of the Mario franchise. Like the characterization, the cartoons. I had some of the comics, like the old Valiant comics, like that all looked like this game.
This game is the game that influenced what the characters were going to look like. It's on purpose.
Right.
The fact that Luigi is a bit taller, the fact that Toad is just, looks like Toad, and, Peach didn't change much either, but they kind of defined these characters. So it was mostly, it was this game that defined what they were going to look like for all media going forward. So the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, Super Mario World, all these games like Luigi's Mansion, they all come from the design in this game.
Which is funny
definitely.
because, like, this game doesn't, like, the mechanics of the game don't carry over. It's just the look.
Yeah, and the personalities developed over time. Like Luigi being a coward.
Yep.
Did not come from this game, right?
Right.
So they had to develop that personality, and Mario is missing, where he is a fucking coward because he sucks.
You don't have any residual feelings for that game at all, do you, Brian?
Something I said I never play again in my life, and here we are.
That game hurt us. That game hurt us bad.
Show us on the doll
It's okay,
where
Sam.
the game touched you.
Can't get you anymore.
Right.
No, I think it's interesting because this was kind of. I mean, I know that this wasn't. We've discussed that this wasn't the game that was supposed to be the sequel to Super Mario. But there was kind of a trend for the second game in a series, especially on the NES, just being not even a little bit, wildly fucking different. Like, I'm thinking, Zelda 2, I'm thinking Castlevania 2, it just seems there's something about the sequel to these big franchises that just really kind of pushed the boat out. And then they rein it back in to do what the original did, but there's always that transference of something from that experiment that kind of just carries over.
This was an era where it was not super expensive to create a game, and you didn't need a huge team.
Sure.
So they had the option to do that. They had the option to walk a little bit outside of their lane and try something, and if it didn't really catch, they could still go back to their original formula very easy, and all these games did that.
I would argue you probably need an even smaller team for this one because, the game already exists.
Right.
That's true. That is very true, Alan.
I would also say, like, it wasn't like the formula really existed yet. Because, you had the Atari, you had other home consoles and stuff, but, like, the Nintendo was kind of unique in that it was so popular, and, I mean, there really wasn't the formula. Like, we really just need to make the same game but improve on it. The thought to, like, make something completely different was probably a little bit more prevalent. Like, we need to make a second one, but it can't be like the first one. So that's where I think maybe, and this is just pure speculation, I don't know, but like that's kind of where you get a Zelda 2 or Castlevania 2 or Super Mario 2 and have them be so wildly different than the first.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, definitely.
Like you didn't necessarily want to make the same game, and then for whatever reason, maybe it had some detractors or didn't do as well, and it's like, oh, well, maybe we should go back to basics, and that is what the players like. But, you got to try something different first.
It's nice that they didn't just throw everything out, and there's just enough that came back over. And I'm just saying, I love this game. I'd have been happy if the whole thing just carried on. But yeah, it's nice to see the influences of this game on all of the games going forward.
Yeah, I thought that was
but
fun.
you also look at Japan there. They never got this game originally. It's called Super Mario USA in Japan after it became popular here. But so you could argue the same thing about Super Mario Brothers 3 breaking the mold of Super Mario Brothers 1 and 2 in Japan. So
Yeah, true. I hadn't thought of that.
because that one kind of completely changed the formula.
Sure did.
Yeah,
And like you said, it took influence from this game as well. So it was a fucking crazy time back then.
I know.
They were able to experiment. You didn't have business getting in the way of the developers. God, I miss the 80s.
yeah.
It's
I
funny
think
that now that I'm thinking about it, sorry Sam, but now that I'm thinking about it,
yeah.
it's just like all of the third games in the series that I've just mentioned turned out to be some of the best in the entire series. Super Mario 3, Castlevania 3. I mean, you could call Link to the Past like 3.
Yeah.
And they had their little experiment, and then they went on to make the greatest games in the entire series.
Yeah,
Arguably.
and that's also around the era where video games are coming into their own, and they were figuring out what fans really wanted. I mean, it is just a case study of, I guess, history to see how these evolved into what we have today.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'd say even like
And then now we got hedge funds fucking getting their goddamn hands into the fucking pot in there and telling developers to cut shit that could be fun because they need money.
Yeah, you would
Fuck you, hedge
you
funds.
would never get experimentation like this these days. Not in the AAA sphere anyway.
No.
But that's
Well-
a topic for Retrobites.
yeah, for sure.
Sorry, Sam.
I
you
don't
were
know.
gonna say.
Yeah, I kind of lost it. I don't know what it was. I think I'm running out of some things to say about this because it's, it just is
Not a
what it is.
super long game.
It's not a super long game, but it's an important one because it gave us something very unique. I think that I don't think we would have gotten if Nintendo didn't think we were bad at video games, and I'm glad that we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Agreed.
What do you say? You wanna wrap up with some final thoughts?
Sure.
I guess we could wrap up with
Yeah.
some final thoughts.
All right, let's have Alan give his final thoughts first, because Alan didn't get to say his final thoughts on episode 0. So take it away.
I did not, and we are writing this wrong here and now. How dare you not invite me on episode 0 when you have no idea who I was?
Oh, we knew who you were. You just
Yeah, I
We just didn't care.
Oh, Brian, you get a 2 out of 10. But as for this game, this game, I have such a huge amount of fondness for this game. It comes from an absolutely wonderful, wonderful era of video games, and we've been over it, and we know that the very famous story about how this was Mario dumbed down for us, and it's funny that it was, because as we've discussed, this became such an iconic look for the entire series going forward that it just kind of makes you wonder, what would Mario be like if this game didn't exist? Because, having influenced so much of the sort of popular culture outside of the video games, like I remember choose your own adventure books based on this look.
Oh,
like
my
you said,
God.
the Mario Super Show, they're flying
Memory
around on magic
unlocked.
carpets, like on
Yep.
yeah, I know, I'm going to have to track some of those down now that I've said that, believe you me. It's just an iconic piece of not just Mario, but Nintendo history. Like, the gameplay is absolutely fucking wonderful. The look of the game is brilliant. We didn't touch on the music. I think this is some of the most iconic music in the entire series, and it's a soundtrack that I could go years without playing this game, and I could just call up any of the tracks in my head. It's just an all-round great platforming game. And like you said, Sam, I am glad that we are dumb enough to appreciate it. Perhaps if we were better at video games, we wouldn't have this experience. I don't know. You can play it a million different ways. You can choose whatever character you like. You can experiment. I I said it off the top. I don't think it's unfair. I genuinely prefer this to the first one. And, maybe a big part of that is nostalgia talking, but I don't care. Cards on the table. I love this game. I might even prefer it to Mario 3, just because it is so wacky and out there and different. That being said, I've got to fucking score it now, and I've been talking a big game, so I'm going to have to give it a big score. Fuck. I think I'm going to have to give it a 9, based just on the amount of joy that playing this game has given me. I'll 100% play it again, and I will enjoy it just as much the next time.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Light that cigarette. Yeah,
that was a sum up. 100 episodes in the making.
Yeah. All right, Brian.
Wow. Oh, thanks for letting me follow Alan. I appreciate that. Let's. I don't even remember what the original score I gave this game was. I know we used to write it down on a sheet there to. We used to do our tier list, if you remember,
right.
Sam, at the beginning.
Yep, I remember the tier list.
So I'm pretty sure this hit the A tier at least. Or maybe it wasn't even on the tier list because it was episode 0. But this is one of those big games of my childhood that I adore. Like, I have never disliked this game. I've never seen it in God, I don't want to play this game right now. It is just iconic in my life. And I'm going to probably pump it up as much as Alan did. Not a lot I dislike about this game. I don't like the ice world, but that's just something I can get over. They're not that long, and every world only has 3 levels, so it is what it is. I like the concept of the game. I like that it kind of shook up the formula of what Super Mario Brothers did. It really did feel like they were moving forward in the entire series, even though I didn't know at the time it was just Super Mario USA, because Japanese people think we suck at video games. Fuck you, Japan. We do, but we don't like it having rubbed in our face. The music in this game, like Alan said, it's the soundtrack to my childhood. That first song, when you come through that first door and you fall down, I love that song. It is better to me than the ground theme from Super Mario Brothers 1. Mm-hmm. It just hits a lot better. It sounds like they really improved their skills on the Nintendo. Story-wise, obviously we know the story now, but at the time, who cared? You didn't need the story to play this game. The mechanics were simple enough, and it took you very little time to figure it out. Overall, I'm trying to think of something just to kind of counter this. I really can't. I really cannot think of anything about this game I don't like. The last boss fight, excellent. All the boss fights were actually pretty good. No, I got nothing, but I can't give it a 10. It is definitely not like the best game I've ever played, so it's not going to get the 10, but I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10 like Alan did.
I really thought you were going for a 10 there.
That's why I was trying to find something like to say negative about it so I could justify it, but
you were edging us there with a
yeah. I can't justify giving this a perfect score because it is a great game, but if it was gun to my head and I had this or Super Mario Brothers 3, I would pick Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I couldn't think of anything negative to say about the game, but I just wasn't quite. Yeah, didn't want to blow my whole load.
Well, you could.
I could.
Sam, you got to wrap this up now.
I will. Yeah, so it's kind of funny that we have Super Mario's Missing was episode 99, right? In our chronology. Did that end up being 99?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just kind of funny that we're doing a game that made me think that Mario sucks on episode 99, and now we have the game that I have the most nostalgia for and the most Mario love for in episode 100. So it's just two completely opposite sides of the coin there. I think just like the look, you guys have already gone through all of this. The look, the music just really brings me back. I had the comics I don't remember where I got them, but yeah, those Valiant comics were pretty cool back in the day. I wonder if those are lying around still. I think they'd probably be worth something. Probably not. Let's be honest. But yeah, when I was reading Mario comic books, I was seeing Shy Guys and the little birds on the carpets and Wart and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, this is made a big imprint on me, I think, as far as, my favorite Mario. I do think I like this one better than 3. And I certainly like it better than the first one. I mean, not to say that I don't like those games, but I think this one just holds a special place for me. And I think also, I think it gets an extra boost now that it was is our first episode and our 100th episode. I have a lot of love for this game. I am going to give it a 10. I think it's great. It's not a perfect game, but you know what? I'm going to give it a 10 anyways because that's what I feel like doing. This is a special game. This is not one that, like, if it's ever on a collection or someone's got it laying around with a Nintendo, it's definitely one that you either throw on or you strongly consider putting on. Even if you go with something else, you're definitely going to think about this one for a minute. So, Super Mario Brothers 2 is one of my favorites.
Beauty.
Well said.
I love it. Well deserved.
All right.
And there
Feels
we
good,
go.
right?
It does.
Everybody needs to light up a smoke there and just have the moment.
Yes. Well,
All right.
there you go.
I can give you guys a moment.
100 episodes. 100 episodes of this, frankly, wonderful show. And if I may wax lyrical for just a moment, I would like to thank literally everyone who's ever listened to the show, obviously, because you guys made this all possible. And I feel like I'm accepting a fucking Academy Award. I'd like to thank Sam and Brian for bringing me on for this wild ride. I remember listening to the very first episode of Retrotopia, episode 0, Super Mario Brothers 2, and I thought it was fucking excellent right out of the gate. I don't know if we've improved on it now. I don't know if you can improve on perfection, but it's been a fucking load of fun, and I look forward to 100 more.
Hell yeah.
Well said, Alan. Well said. And I'll just cap that off by saying it's been 100 episodes. I have the Spotify statistics. I look at them all the time, and I always love seeing, the numbers as they kind of pump up month over month. We've been listened to over 13,000 times, almost 14,000, probably.
Wow.
Another episode or two and we'll crest the 14,000 plays on Spotify. And we have 199 followers as of this recording, which is something I never thought we'd ever have in our life. And this is just the Spotify numbers. Doesn't include everything else. Like, we have over 10,000 listens on Podbean, which gives us everywhere else but Spotify stats. Or I don't know if it includes the Spotify stats, but nevertheless, like Alan said, thanks everybody. And Alan, it was always going to be inevitable that you became part of this show. You were there for us in the early days, and you jumped right into it. Like, I think we started a group chat there, and after a while, it was just like, well, let's just let them start talking and see what happens. And then boom, there you were.
There I am.
But yeah, so thanks everybody. Thank you very much. Sam, any final ass kissing of the audience you want to do?
No, I echo the same thanks. I think, we may or may not be doing this if it weren't for the listeners. Like, we might just be doing this anyways because it's fun, but it sure does help to have, people who like to listen every week or people who discover us new. It's been a blast. It's been fun. It always brightens my day to see Brian drop something in the chat with new stats of, this episode is breaking, our previous record for week 1 or whatever, just, yeah. And the fact that we've had, that many listens and only need a couple episodes to get over the next crest just goes to show, how much we're, I guess, growing and, everyone's listening. So thanks.
Beautiful.
All right. All right, I got to do this part. Stretching.
That's it.
All right, so if this is your first time listening to Retrotopia and you want to join in on the fun, you can find us at our socials at linktree/Retrotopia. That's linktr.ee/Retrotopia. There you can find the link to our Instagram, our Twitter, our Blue Sky, our YouTube channel as well. You can find a link to our Discord where we got a great community going right now. Lots of fun people there, lots of conversations going on. Join in on the conversations because, well, let's be honest. These are the people that really, really push us to be better. And we can also find our merchandise at retrotopia.dashery.com. We got a bunch of shirts, hats, and stuff like that with a few logos, and we're cooking up some new ones. So we'll see if I can ever get those done. As well, if you want to support us further or just join in on the chat itself, you can head over to patreon.com/retrotopia, where you can join for free. I always love stealing Bill Burr's stuff. And for free, you can get 2 more shows. One is Quick Play. The other one is Retro Bites, which is free, but we get it earlier with an extra topic. As well as you can join in on polls, make suggestions for polls, and you can comment to the host of the week or on the game of the week. And if you join the Hero tier for just $2 US, you can get all that, plus Retrotopia After Dark and Sam's Baby New Game Plus as well. You get to pick a quick play game for whichever host you want to play one. So yes, thank you very much. That's all I got.
Well said. Wonderful.
That is
You
that
can
is a lot
rest
to
now,
say.
Brian. You
Right.
can rest.
I keep meaning to pre-record that so that I don't have to do this every time.
No, never pre-record it. We want it live. We want it fresh. And that's
all mistakes
that's-
every week. So I'm getting so used to saying it that what is it? Fuck, words hard. I'm getting so used to saying it that it's become almost an automatic response.
Yeah, that's good when you get in the pocket like that and you can just rifle all that off. I'm not there yet, obviously. I always mess it up. I'll say something wrong. That's fine, whatever.
And I don't know what the
anyways.
fuck I'm doing. So that said,
Yeah, that's
I say we say goodbye. Thanks for listening, and I guess Brian has.
Yeah, I got the outro this week. So I just want to tell everybody we'll be back next week. So don't doki panic.